like to welcome everyone to our November 28th, 2017 City of Griffin Board of Commissioners meeting. We'll have our Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Morrow, and we'll have our invocation by Commissioner Holberg.
If you'll join me, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in prayer. Father, we're here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Holberg and second by Mr. Morrow to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 6-0. I do need to make notice that we do have joining us via telephone Commissioner Cora Flowers. And how do you vote as far as approving the agenda?
Affirmative.
So it's going to be 7-0. All right, item number 1 under presentations and delegations, consider a proclamation declaring December 2nd, 2017 to be Tackle Eye Group Day by the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners.
Make a motion to approve.
I second.
Got a motion by Mr. Holberg, second by Mr. Morrow. All in favor signify by raising your hand. Commissioner Flowers, how do you? Affirmative, 7-0.
Okay, if Mr. Gallman would join me.
Oh. That's Max's son.
Okay, this is a proclamation honoring Tackle Eye Group Day, whereas the Lions Club International is widely known for its benevolent services in the areas of youth, environmental preservation, diabetes awareness, and hunger eradication programs. And the Griffin Lions Club is best known locally for providing free vision screenings and financial assistance with vision care. And whereas the valued partnership between the Tackle Eye Group and the Griffin Lions Club has provided over 2,000 vision screenings to local elementary and kindergarten students since August of 2017, helping us ensure that no child in our community will be deprived of the opportunity to learn because of poor vision. And whereas without the financial support and encouragement of the Tackle Eye Group, a regional leader in vision services for over 40 years, the Griffin Lions Club would not be the progressive and community-minded organization that it is today. And whereas the Tackle Eye Group's extraordinary history, their service to this community, and their commitment to vision education efforts make them a fitting recipient of the Griffin Lions Club Vision Award. This award recognizes this group's approach to furthering healthy vision as a means to promote complete health awareness, and the fact that services are professionally offered to the indigent and insured alike. And whereas Dr. Leaf Tackle Sr. has provided more than 43 years of eye care in Griffin and is a classic success story, a shining example of American opportunity with plenty of hard work and perseverance in the mix as well. He grew up in Norway, then traveled to the United States, graduated from Emory Medical School in 1969, and opening his own practice in Griffin in 1973 in ophthalmology, where he took great pride in caring for his patients and now the children and even grandchildren of those patients. He credits his staff and is grateful for their support through the years, noting they, along with his adopted community, have enriched his and his family's lives. But it is our neighborhood who is the richer for it, and whereas Dr. Leaf Tackle Jr. finished his ophthalmologic residence at Emory in 2006, completed a fellowship in oculoplastic and orbital surgery, and joined his father in the practice in 2007. Of the lessons he learned from his father, he notes the most important have been the realization that while you remember the science, what is important to never forget is that each of their patients have lives. Leaf Sr.'s younger son, Chris, is a pilot with Southwest Airlines. Whereas the Griffin Lions Club is very proud to honor the Tackle Eye Group and its legacy of truly caring for each patient. They agree with Leaf Jr., who who maintains that the Tackle Eye Group has had a tremendous presence in Griffin for 43 years, built upon the premise that patients come first. The Griffin Lions Club Vision Award presentation will be the highlight of the Griffin Lions Vision Gala on Saturday, December 2nd, 2017 at the Griffin Kiwanis Center. Therefore, we, the Commissioners of the City of Griffin, Georgia, hereby proclaim December 2nd, 2017 to be Tackle Eye Group Day in the City of Griffin, and encourage all citizens to increase their understanding and appreciation of both the Griffin Lions Club and the Tackle Eye Group in providing quality vision care for good community health. In witness hereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the city seal to be affixed this 28th day of November in the year of our Lord 2017. And signed Mayor Rodney McCord and Kenny Smith.
Thank you. Together? All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner McLemore, Mayor McCord, and fellow commissioners. I appreciate this on behalf of the Griffin Lions Club. This is an extreme honor for both Dr. Tackles and their eye group established. We, as humanitarians in the Lions Club, think that it is a wonderful idea to recognize persons that help in humanitarian actions within the community, and we have been very successful, and we appreciate all that Dr. Tackles, the eye group, and all other citizens that help us on our endeavors. Thank you so much. We're going to actually be presenting this at Dr. Tackles' office. The gala has been postponed, but we will be presenting this on Thursday, the 30th at 1:30 p.m. for Dr. Tackle, and have a small luncheon for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This time we'll have our citizens' comments. The chairperson opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. Is there anyone on my left that would like to come forward and address the board? No one on my left. Anyone on my right like to come forward and address the board? Please come forward. Just give your name and address for the records.
Bill Landrum, 366 East Cottage Street, Griffin, Georgia. I'm here on this retirement plan. I wish y'all would take another look at that, because right now, the salary, I think you make a pretty good salary monthly. It was all there when you were elected. You knew what it was when you elected. So what I'd like to see is just take another look at it, and then let's talk about it. I would appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, good. Thank you, Mr. Lang. Come on up.
My name is Shannon Herron. I live at 413 Terrace Street here in Griffin, and I hope you'll excuse me for sticking to my script tonight. I come tonight to urge you to reconsider the portion of the proposed amendment to the Defined Benefits Retirement Plan addressed in Consent Agenda Item Number 6 that includes elected or appointed members of the governing authority. I am in favor of keeping the aspects of the ordinance amendment that include the benefit to the eligible regular employees. I contend that a retirement benefit for commissioners or other elected or appointed members of the local body plays into the well-established public perception of career politics and a, quote, good old boy system that are constantly lambasted by many of our citizens. It may also be perceived as having been hidden within a bulk consent agenda and tagged on to a regular employee benefit change in order to improve its chances of passing with as little fanfare as possible. I'm not saying this is my personal belief, but a perception likely to be made by an underinformed and biased public that already thinks the worst of the process with which it's unfamiliar. You all know that I believe this perception is flawed and is perpetuated by a failure of most of those people who complain to avail themselves of the ample opportunities that the city offers to educate themselves on the facts and on the truth. It is this very perception, however, that those of us who desire the best for our community is trying to overcome. As long as there exists a tax, be it property sales or otherwise, or a road that needs paving, or an outdated infrastructure, or any on a long list of items funded by the citizens of Griffin, I believe it is inappropriate for the part-time elected office of commissioner or other elected or appointed office to receive a long-term benefit such as retirement. At $1,120 per month, as stated in the current Code of Ordinances, the commissioners are sufficiently compensated for their service to the community. I believe a commissioner's service to the citizens of Griffin is just that, a service to the community on behalf of their constituency that the candidate enters willingly when running for office. I do not believe that elected offices are intended to be a career, and certainly not one that necessitates a retirement benefit. And while I believe that the term limits issue is a product of a lazy electorate, in that we have the power to limit anyone's term by showing up at the polling place for every election, I also believe we should not encourage the practice of career politics with incentives like retirement. I have collected several quotes from across the country, from Utah to New York to NPR to the founding father Ben Franklin, which express thoughts similar to our own Georgia Senator David Perdue, who said just last year, in part, politicians should do their best and then come home and live under the laws they've passed. Our founding fathers never imagined the rise of the career politician. They envisioned citizen legislators. Elected office was never meant to be a career. Thank you for your consideration.
Anyone else on my right? Please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Joanne Todd, 1508 Middlebrooks Road, Griffin, Georgia. And it's good to see all your faces. And I have to tell you that for 2 years, I have really been proud of the decisions that this board has made. And I have defended every one of the decisions on this board when you've had to raise various fees or anything in the city. I do not agree with this business of retirement for elected officials. I asked Jessica earlier, and I talked with Miles, what I would like in reading the ordinance. I have discovered that you provide no benefits for a temporary worker. Who is temporary except a politician? You are subject to the voters every 4 years, and I have to agree that in Griffin we have got such a sense of apathy and poor attendance when we have an election that it's awful easy sometimes to work on something for 6 to 8 months and not tell the public that it's coming up for a vote when it is. As I shared with Doug, this board and the city went to great lengths to talk about at-large being converted to a full-time mayor. But the first instance I saw of this was this past Saturday, because unfortunately, while I've been a retired politician, I've not upgraded my computer, and so I get very little things that I might ask Teresa to forward to me because it says my computer's not capable of handling it. I think that y'all do a wonderful job. I'm so proud of the service that we have done as city commissioners. There was one other instance in this that I was concerned about, and it says that appointed members of the governing authority, who are they? They're not spelled out here as to who would be, if you pass this, who would be the ones of a governing authority who would get these benefits. And like Shannon and like Bill, Jack Sutton called me tonight. He and his family are on vacation in the mountains. And he said, he was so proud of his service with this board and serving the city. And he looked on it that he was elected to serve the people and not to be served by the people. And he said to if it meant anything to anybody, that he would like for you all to know that he would be very disappointed if you continued down this road and give benefits, retirement benefits to really you are a part-time worker and you are a temporary worker. Harry and I rang the bell for the Salvation Army today. And it would make you proud to see the little kids that are going to benefit from this program come and put their dimes and their nickels and their pennies in the pot. Griffin is not a rich community, and we do feel the increases in yard waste, which I'm grateful we still have, by the way. And I know we're one of the few cities that has yard waste. But Griffin, we are losing employees, our population. When I got elected to the board, we had over 24,500 residents. And I noticed that when I was researching this week, it says Griffin has a population of about 23,000 and some few people. We want people to move here. Let's not have the reputation of that the people who are elected to office don't want to cater to having a better community. And this leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. I can understand the background for it. We never think that we're paid enough, and we have to listen and answer the phone every hour of the day. But then I reminded myself that I did this, and I did it willingly, and I fought hard to keep that job. And I would like for you all to understand that the city of Griffin needs your help, and this would not help us. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? All right, please come forward, state your name and address.
Kim Williams, 502 South 6th Street. I just want to echo what the rest of the citizens have said and also put a young face on it. I've noticed that there aren't very many young people who show up. I'm actively engaged in a way to get more young people here. I want you guys to know that. But we care deeply about what happens with our money. That's everyone. Not your money, not their money, our money. And as long as there are things that need to be done, I'm sorry, it's a part-time job. You all have full-time employment, correct? Or you're retired?
We do not.
And receive retirement from other methods from your past employment? You bit the bullet when you took the job. When you stood up, raised your hand, and went, I'll run. I care about this town. I'll run. I do it because I care for this town, not because I'm trying to make a dime. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on my right want to address the board? All right, being none, we will move to our public hearings. Our first public hearing is item number 2, receive comments regarding a request for a variance to exceed the size and number of freestanding signage as outlined in the City of Griffin Unified Development Code for property located at 601 South 8th Street. Director of Planning and Development Services, Toussaint Kirk, will address.
Good evening. Wellstar Spalding Regional Hospital, they've been in the process of upgrading the hospital over the last several years, and they've come to the point where it's time to upgrade the signage. So what they're asking for is just the type of signage they're going to put on the ground is called, we consider to be monument signs, freestanding signs. So it does, in theory, exceed what we normally allow. But if you look at the campus, it's on the 14 acres there, it's expanded, and there is a need of directional signage to get you kind of through the maze. So staff has recommended approval of the request, and that's all I have.
Is there anyone here to speak against this public hearing, for or against this public hearing? All right, we'll move on. Any questions from any of the commissioners? Move on.
Yeah,
You go ahead.
from what I can see, walking around the grounds and going through this, it's actually an improvement, so.
Correct. A big improvement.
Thank you.
Item number 3, receive comments regarding a request for a variance from section 709D of the City of Griffin Unified Development Code to reduce the front yard setback for lots 72 and 81 from 15 feet to 10 feet in the Summerwoods Phase 3 subdivision submitted by Premier Homes and Communities LLC.
Yes, sir. So the builder has already constructed 10 homes. I think they've all sold, at least 8 of the 10 have already been sold. They're ready to start on the backside of the existing homes. And if you looked on your report, there's 2 red dots showing those 2 lots. And what has happened is those two lots come at they don't provide a right angle. So what's happened is it's kind of cut the front corner of the house off, so they're requesting a 5-foot variance so the houses can basically fit on the lot.
Quick question.
Yes.
Are these going to be the townhome style, or are they going to be single-family on this particular section?
The same as before the town.
Duplex, common
Correct.
wall? Okay.
Correct.
Is there anyone here to speak against this variance? Anyone to speak for or against? Any questions, further questions or comments from the commission?
No, but if I understand this diagram, I also went out and looked at this today. If it was not for that curve, it's just a little bit of a corner that makes a difference. Right?
Correct. And those lots are a little bit more stubby than the ones on the back side of it, so yes.
Any questions, comments, Commissioner Flowers?
No, no comment.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. We will now move to our consent agenda, and we have 8 items, and we can take them all at one, or do y'all want to do them one at a time?
Chairman, I would request that we take items number 1, the minutes, out for separate because Ms. Flowers couldn't make the last meeting.
Okay.
And then we also take out number 6 to be voted on individually due to this morning's discussion.
Sounds good.
That's okay, everybody?
All right, item number 4, consider minutes of the November 14th, 2017 regular meeting.
I'd move we approve. There's no additions. They appear correct to me.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrow, second by Ms. Ward. Any further questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. It's going to be 6-0, 1 abstention. Moving to item number 5, consider approval on second reading an ordinance revising the Code of Griffin, Georgia, at Chapter 42, Environment, Article 3. Well, we'll do 5, 7, and 8
Okay.
together. You want to do that?
Yes, sir.
Somebody make a motion?
I move we approve items 5, 7, and 8 as presented.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrow, a second by Mr. Brock to approve items 5, 7, and 8. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Ms. Flowers,
Affirmative.
be 7-0. We'll now take item number 6, consider on second reading an ordinance amending the city existing Gmail's defined benefit retirement plan.
I make a motion to approve.
We got a motion from Ms. Ward.
I second.
Got a second from Ms. Flowers. Any discussion?
Again, I'm voting against this on the sole provision in regards to commission compensation. If it does fail, I want this brought back up so that we can proceed with the retirement changes for the employees at a future date.
Any other comments?
I do want to weigh in on this at some length, if you give me a couple minutes. And this I find a very frustrating, upsetting issue. Understand that this was discussed in 2 public workshops we had, and the commissioners as a group unanimously said to move ahead. At our last meeting, it was voted on by 6 commissioners. Ms. Flowers couldn't make it. The other 6 sitting here all voted affirmative. And now we have sort of a political tempest in a teapot. So let me go back to the beginning, because what I've heard here, I don't disagree with things said by folks in the audience, but there's another side to this that needs aired. And back in the beginning, our HR director brought this to us. He wanted to revise the employment plan for our full-time employees and increase the benefits. He said it was needed for competition for good employees, and we all looking for good employees. And we agreed that our retirement plan could become more competitive, and we agreed to the enhancements. He also at that time said to consider one for elected officials for really the same reason, to enlarge the pool. And let me say that there are roughly 510 cities in the state of Georgia. 54% of those cities mostly cities of substance like Griffin and larger, have retirement plans for their elected officials, 54%. And you wonder, why is that? Well, there's some good reasons for it. Let me just mention in a minute one. But I'm a little insulted when people talk about this being a part-time job. This is the agenda for tonight. I've spent 5 or 6 hours studying this. I've been out to look at things like most of us. I don't ever consider this a part-time job. I get calls at odd hours as we all do. It's a full-time job. We're non-traditional, but we're certainly not part-time. I find that part-time is a little bit insulting as a term. We're non-traditional employees, if you will. So, when I went out to look for a replacement for myself, what did I hear? I talked to a lot of nice people in my district, good people, and I heard time after time, I don't want that job, it doesn't pay enough, I get all that grief, all that work, people calling me, there's no money in it, I don't want it. So good people turned it down because it's too much work and effort for the money. I was lucky to find Truman, who did take the Citizen Government Academy and got hooked and said he would step forward and do the job. Most of them said they wouldn't do it. In fact, all the others said they wouldn't do it. No one does this job for money. You do it for a commitment, and we all know that. But let me say this. In the beginning, that was not the case. But let me just bring up something. The folks that have now gone online with their snarky comments and all this have not called or talked to this group. This board, including 2 members sitting out there over the last few years, has worked doggone hard to make this city more efficient and better run and less. We have lowered the taxes several years in a row. If we had the same tax rate now that we had a few years ago, the property owners in this city would have been paying $387,990 more in taxes. Now, no one out there that's complaining about this $23,000 addition to the budget, which of $110 million is a minor part. No one that's complaining about that $23,000 says, oh yes, but this board working hard through our manager and people have cut the taxes $387,900, basically $400,000 for the people in this city. So you look at the $400,000 saved off the property taxes versus a $23,000 item for this, and it's not even close. Neither do they call and mention the fact that we have moved this up to an ISO 1 rating, which is the lowest rated fire insurance in the state. You can't get lower than an ISO 1 rating. It's tops in the state. Neither do they tell you or call you and thank you because we have a level 5 floodplain insurance, which is the lowest floodplain rate in the whole city. So all the things that this board's done over the years and saved all this money and done this, you don't hear that. All you hear is, oh, $23,000. Well, let me tell you, in my case, a couple $100 a month retirement makes no difference. I live very comfortably on my Delaware retirement, my Social Security. A couple $100 makes no difference one way or another. But there's a white and a wealth bias in what I've been hearing from folks against it. And only one, by the way, had the courage to call me and talk to me personally, and I appreciate that. Our city has modest income, low income and modest income people all over this city. But if you look at the districts, we have 3 white districts, or primarily the wealthier districts. We have 3 black districts, which are primarily the lower income districts. So when you say we can't have a retirement plan and people out there doing this part-time job, you don't look at it from the poor end of this town, you look at it from the wealth end of this town. And there's a big difference. I grew up poor as a church mouse, and I was excluded from things all my younger years because I didn't have the money to get involved, didn't have the clothes, didn't have the right transportation. And if you're a low-income person, and there are a lot of good, hardworking people in this city out there with low to modest incomes, and they are great people, and they make good commissioners, but they're excluded from this job because of the financial obligations. If you're going to run for this office, it takes several $1,000s to really run comfortably, all of us. You've got to travel, you've got to look at jobs, you got this and on. It's financial. It is not a moneymaker. In fact, it's a money loser. So when you talk about this is not needed, it's all your civic duty. Yes, if you're white in a nice white district, If you got money and you're financially stable and comfortable, like most of the complainers are, yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to me. But don't forget the low-income, modest-income people in this town who've made good commissioners are excluded because of the money, and we're not hearing that side of the story. So I'll say this. I am absolutely split on this. I have my white conservative half that says I wouldn't spend a dime on anything. Everybody knows I'm that way. There's the other half of me that says, you know what? We're excluding low-income people from participating because they can't afford this because of what the financial implications are. So I'm absolutely split down the middle, and that's it. So don't just talk from the wealth side of it. Remember the other end of the folks out here. And when we save people $400,000 in their taxes for a $23,000 budget item, there's no comparison. I'm done.
Mr.
Ready
McCord,
to vote.
2 minutes.
There's not a,
I see the hard work that everyone that works on this board and know the hours. But when I'm knocking on doors in 2001 competing against Mr. Landrum, I didn't go at it for the income.
Neither did
I went
I.
for it to service.
Neither
And when
did I.
An older gentleman who's since passed away handed me a piece of paper and gave me a verse that said 2 Thessalonians 3:1-3. Wrote it on the piece of paper. Good luck, Mr. Holberg. And I went back and looked it up, and it's brother, sister, never tire of doing what is good. And that's how I've reflected on my decision, is that we're servants, we work hard, it's thankless. I mean, we deal with all sorts of things, from tires under trash dumpsters to yard waste not being picked up, to dead squirrels, to opossums. You name it, you get the phone calls about it. But
I live the same shoes you live in.
exactly, and I would love to have the additional benefit when I turn 65, but I work hard every day to make every dime I can, to feed my family, to provide for my well-being and for my employees. And the perception is that this is not the best thing for the perception of this Board of Commissioners.
That perception is with people with
But the
wealth and
perception is
influence. That
reality.
perception is not from folks out there who like to participate and are excluded. All right, well, I'm not going to say any further. I'm absolutely split down the middle.
All right, we've been beating on this since February. We're gonna call for we got a motion by Ms. Ward, second by Ms. Flowers. All in favor signify by raising your hand.
Affirmative.
We got 3 in the affirmative and all that deny. And we got 3 that deny, and we got 1 abstention.
I abstain. I'm split down the middle.
All right, we got 1 that's split down the middle that abstained. So you got 3, 4, and 1 abstention.
Ms. Attorney, you can't abstention on an issue that's not self-serving is considered a yes vote in my.
According to our charter, section 2.7, yes, it is.
So you're split. Your vote's an affirmative yes if you don't vote.
Okay, so be it.
All right. Moving on to item number 9. Consider a request for a variance to exceed the size and number of freestanding signage as outlined in the City of Griffin Unified Development Code for property located at 601 South 8th Street.
Mr. Chair, I move we approve the variance as submitted.
I second.
We got a motion by Ms. Morrow, second by Ms. Ward. All in favor signify by raising your hand.
Affirmative.
7-0. Item number 10, consider a request of a variance from section 709D of the City of Griffin Unified Development Code to reduce the front yard setback for lots 72 and 81 from 15 feet to 10 feet in the Summerwoods Phase 3 subdivision submitted by Premier Homes and Communities LLC.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Holberg, second by Ms. Ward. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Commissioner Flowers?
Affirmative.
Be 7-0.
Affirmative.
7-0. Item number 11, consider 2 memorandums of understanding for the implementation of a therapy dog program for the Griffin Police Department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We got a motion by Ms. Ward. Who did the second?
I did.
Second by Mr. Morrow. Any further discussion, question, or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Ms. Ward, Ms. Flowers?
Affirmative.
The 7-0. Moving to item number 12, consider approval for Service Electric Company as low bidder to bore and relocate a section of primary electric cable in the amount of $57,368.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Ms. Ward, second by Mr. Morrow. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand.
Affirmative.
Be 7-0. Moving down to item number 13, consider awarding the 2018 LMIG program for the resurfacing of 1.88 miles of city streets in the amount of $276,900 to C.W. Matthews Contracting Company, Inc., for the Public Works Department of the Public Works and Utilities Department.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Ms. Ward, second by Mr. Hallberg. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand.
Affirmative.
7-0. Item number 14, consider approval of an easement agreement allowing SBA Communications Corporation, SBA, to buy out the current lease agreement on the communications tower property located at 401 North Expressway in the amount of $176,275 and amend the budget accordingly.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Ms. Ward, second by Mr. Morrow. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand.
Affirmative.
7-0. Item number 15, consider cancellation of the December 26, 2017 workshop and regular scheduled meeting, as well as the addition of a workshop on December 12, 2017.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Mr. Holberg, second by Ms. Ward. Any questions or comments? Being none, all in favor signify by raising your hand. Be 7-0 with the affirmative from Ms. Flowers. We will go to our city manager.
Our Archway Intergovernmental Retreat has been tentatively scheduled for Thursday and Friday, February the 8th and 9th. Location to be determined. So if you'll go ahead and block out those dates on your calendar with more information to follow. Remember, the downtown Christmas lighting will take place Saturday night at 6 o'clock. That's Saturday night, December the 2nd at halftime of the game. At 6 o'clock.
Oh, that's
Lighting of the tree, and we'll have some festivities at the 6th Street Park, so come on down. Hometown Connections, remember, we'll meet with our legislators on December the 5th at 3 o'clock in this room. And we just voted to have a workshop on the 12th, so we'll be back here then. Thank you very much.
Mayor McCord, may I ask you a question, please, a clarification? You did not give the vote on the vote, you did not give the final vote on the compensation issue.
We gave the vote on the conversation. We had Mr. Holberg, Mr. McLemore, goodness gracious, Mr. Brock that voted against it. Ms. Ward, myself, and Ms. Flowers voted for it. Mr. Morrow, I'm getting old. He abstained, which is an affirmative. So it was given by our attorney.
All right,
Thank you.
I had asked the previous question when I was there about the ruling on a temporary worker. Miles said that he felt that it was a reasonable question for you all to submit to the board to see if perhaps elected officials are temporary workers in the sense that there's a time frame for your employment, and to make rules, regulations, et cetera, to run our city and to make decisions on employees. I would like to have a clarification of that from your Georgia board or whatever, if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
I know it'll take a few weeks, but I would like a clarification on that. And I understand this is not to be, is this to be implemented immediately? I think you said it would be implemented retroactive to November the 15th. I
Yes,
would
if-
like for you to delay that till you get a ruling on a temporary worker, if you don't mind.
Do we have any more comments? You have anything?
I don't, no ma'am. No, sir.
Thank you.
No, I had asked Jessica as well, and they could not say, and Miles, who did the research on this, said that it was a good question.
Hallberg, you have any comments?
Can I say something right now? Mayor?
You had your time, is it something different than what you said before?
No, yeah, something different.
Okay,
I just want to say, I don't mind you getting retirement, but retroactive, I am strongly against it. We're going back to 19 and 90, what, 93 with this thing? That's ridiculous.
all right, thank you.
I don't believe it's legal at all. If you give yourself a raise, real retroactive.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Hallberg.
So the downtown tree lighting, you've noticed the trees have been pruned on Hill Street. The downtown is going to be lit brighter and prettier than ever before. So if you can drag yourself away from the TV, after we get done with the tree lighting, we'll be going down to the park at 6. There'll be music, hot chocolate, sleigh rides throughout the day. It's a promotion of shopping local, a lot of different activities going on. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Somebody in the back raised their hand.
Okay, just 1 second. I'll let you go during my time. Mr. Brock?
No.
Nothing.
No comment.
All right, I yield to you my time.
Ms. Flowers is over there.
Oh, Ms. Flowers, you got anything?
No, just thank you for indulging my electronic presence.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Yes, sir, your comment.
It's Saturday evening, so it'll start off in front of City Hall and then walk over to Park at 6. Second.
Parade.
Parade,
Parade is the 7th on Thursday.
7th on
7th
Thursday.
on Thursday. Okay.
7 o'clock.
I'm not in charge.
All right, I don't have any comments tonight, but I want to thank everybody for coming and participating. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Morrow, second by Mr. Hallberg.
Teach kids